we had a discussion about mastering yourself. I want to go a little bit more into one of the elements of mastering yourself. So we said, if you're going to master yourself, there are the technical, the tactical, the physical, the mental, and the competitive side of it. So we're going to break down the mental side today. We're going to look at, all right, how do we master your mind? Because in the end, we know that your thinking under pressure, not just in tennis, but in life, is what's going to be the difference between those that succeed and those that don't succeed, or those that become great, exceptional at something. So meaning, how do we know to master your mind? Again, we're going to look at the commonalities. What do top tennis players have in common? What are the mental attributes that we see with all of them? And I got about 15 of those for us today. What I want you to do, as we go through this list of mental tools, attributes, let me explain to you why I call them mental tools. Because if I ask you to do a job and you don't have the right tools, that job is extremely difficult. So if you don't have the right mental tools in tennis, it's a very difficult sport. That becomes so tough, right? Or you might just have some of the tools and then the job stays difficult. Imagine I ask you to build a table. I give 3 of you guys a piece of wood. And I say, okay, hey, build me a table. One of you guys, let's say player A, I say, okay, you're gonna build me a table, and I give him no tools. Player B, I give him 5 tools. Player C, I give 10 tools. Let me add another player in there. Player D, 10 tools, and I teach player D how to use those tools. I think we can see that player D, that's the person that's going to do the best job building a table. If you don't have tools, you don't have all the mental tools, man, this game is so difficult, guys. And we can look, yesterday we said mastering yourself as a tennis player, there are some physical tools and there are some mental tools. So we're going to look at those mental tools today. And if you go and look at all the champions and we study them, we'll see that they're ticking all these boxes. So for you today, as we go with this list of 15 mental tools to become really good mentally, mastering your mind, you need to evaluate yourself and say, how am I doing with number 1, number 2, number 3? So have a little list, do a little evaluation, and then take the next step and say, okay, how do I improve on this? Research it. Or put yourself in a situation where you keep practicing it. Number 1, and this is what everybody thinks mentally good athletes are. They think they're only mentally tough. Now, mental toughness is probably one of the most important ones. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I look at tennis players and I see a lot of people that don't make it. Really good strikers of the ball, physically, technically, very good. But they're not mentally tough. And that's because of the scoring of tennis, because you fail so often. If I look at a triathlete, how many times does a triathlete fail? Mentally. Only when they cross the finishing line. But never till they cross the finishing line do they fail. You're going to fail probably 47 to 53 times out of 100. And that's how small the margin between winning and losing is. So mental toughness for a tennis player is absolutely necessary, but that's also the reason, the scoring, why a lot of players are not mentally tough. Man, I saw yesterday, we're practicing out there, and some of you guys, you get disappointed, you get negative. Hey, that's a sign. You gotta do some work, man. All right. So mental toughness is basically how you define yourself when things get difficult. Man, it's easy to define yourself when things are easy, when it's all going your way, when you're having a good day. Mental toughness is can you keep showing up with energy and focus, not let your feelings run the show when things are difficult? Now, number one, mental toughness. Evaluate yourself. Number two, mental discipline. Mental discipline is the biggest neglect for tennis players. Why? Because we don't understand that discipline in the end is just as important as mental toughness. Do you do what you need to do, or when things don't go your way, do you do what you don't want to do, what you want to not, what you feel like? So mental discipline is really doing what you need to do versus what you want to do. So you got to keep asking that question. What do I need to do in this situation? Even go a little bit further. Let's say, what would Djokovic do in this situation? All right. Number three, mental engagement. This is a very important mental tool for you to master your mind. Mental engagement means your ability to concentrate, your ability to do it intensely. And that is basically, can you get rid of distractions? Distraction control. Now, we did a discussion on the pursuit of excellence, and one of the big ones was distraction control. Are you getting distracted? Or are you staying with what you need to do? Simple example is my friend starts talking about something while we're practicing. Is that distraction helping me to become a champion in this dedicated development time? Or is it taking away from my project? And remember, your disadvantage for you guys in your generation is it's a generation of distraction. One of the greatest of all time said it, Djokovic. He said, hey, that's why we don't see as many young guys coming through anymore, why the old guys are still competing, still winning at the age of 38. So let's go to the next one. Competitiveness. John McEnroe said he hated losing. He hated it so much that he found ways to avoid it. He took action. So we can see it in another way as well. Competitiveness is also the hunger to succeed. How hungry are you to succeed at what you're doing? Let's look at the next one. Resilience. Do you bounce back? There's that saying, when you get knocked down, land on your back, because if you look up, you can get up. And if you get knocked down 9 times, you get up 10 times. How resilient are you? And remember, this is easy to listen to it and say, oh, it doesn't apply to me. No, it does. All of this applies to you. Because if you're going to cut it at the highest level, then this is what very necessary. Hey, Alan, go wash your face off. All right. Number 6. Emotional control. Can you control your emotions, or are your emotions controlling you? Think about the last time where it got difficult. Who controlled the show? Who was running the show? The thinking brain or the emotions? Especially, and at what point do your emotions start controlling what you do? The Navy SEALs, mentally very tough, they have a system that they call compartmentalization. They block things up when things go wrong. Critical thinking. Number 7. When the object just doesn't go away. It stays in your path. It stops you from succeeding. You just can't. Do you critically think? Can you solve that problem? Or do you need somebody else to do that for you? Now let me say something to you. The way you grow up could be one of your major disadvantages. Because if mom and dad solves all the problems for you, that's maybe not your fault. But I gotta tell you something. If you don't start learning to solve problems, then how are you gonna do it on the tennis court? Because remember, nobody can do it for you. And that's not mom and dad's fault, by the way. You gotta say, hey, I wanna be a champion. So how do I start critically thinking in order to solve problems? Number 8, growth mindset. A growth mindset means I never get to my end destination. Look at Federer. Look at Djokovic, Nadal. They got to the top and they were very outspoken about it. They were saying, hey, I need to get even better if I'm gonna stay in front. So the next one is promotion mindset. Champions are all about taking it. And there's that book, The Secret. It says like, hey, if you want something in life, you gotta take it. Here's the thing, a lot of young competitors go out there and they just want to win because of wanting to win. But they don't want to earn it, they don't want to take it. And the secret is, if you want something, you're going to take it. You're 5-2 up in a match, your job is to take it, not to defend it. You're going to take that match. You can't go to the referee and say, I'm 5-2 up, I'll probably win the match. Just put my name down. It doesn't work that way. You're going to keep taking it. And most importantly, champions, they don't just take it, they know how to take it. That's again critical thinking, right? Number 10, self-motivation. You got to be the wind in your own sails. Because in tennis, you're going to fail a lot. It's difficult. And when you keep failing, who's going to motivate you? And quickly go to your opponent and say, hey man, I'm having a rough day here. Help me out. Now maybe in our practice group, we're a team and we help each other out, but your competitor is not going to do that for you. Your competitor is not going to say, hey, okay, hold on, let me take it easy on you today. No. So can you motivate yourself? Can you stay determined? Keyword there is self-motivated. Confidence. Confidence is what every champion understands happens because of the hard work they put in behind the scenes, the hard work they put in on the practice court. If they know in a match they're going to be pushed this much, they push themselves this much in a practice session because then they know they'll be okay in a match. This is a big one. The moment. Your ability to be in the moment. For a tennis player, more so than a lot of other sports. How well do you stay in the moment? And we talk a little bit about distraction control as well. But because every tennis ball coming at you is asking a different question. If you're not in the moment, you're going to fail. So learn to be in the now. My question to you again is, with all these mental tools, what is your rating? What is your assessment for yourself? If you know, hey, my ability to stay in the moment isn't good, then how can you practice that? Talk to somebody, do some homework, do some exercises. Number 13, self-belief. It's not the same as confidence. Self-belief is saying, hey, I can do this. At what point do you quit? You know, I see a lot of tennis players, they get stuck at a certain UTR. For a lot of players, the jump from 9 to 10 is very difficult, especially in this country. A lot of players get stuck at 9 because they create a mental block. They stop self-believing. No, it's simple. You're not getting to 10, go back to the drawing board, make some adjustments, add something, get more consistent at something. get a little faster, get a little tougher or something. So it is simple. Every single UTR level or tennis playing level is achievable. You must believe that of yourself. If you don't, nobody's going to do it. And there's a saying, whether you say you can or whether you say you can't, you are right. So start saying that, hey, I can be an 11 UTR, 12, whatever you want to be. And then you figure it out. You go to the drawing board. Number 14, self-starter. And you say, how's that a mental tool? That is absolutely a mental tool. Do you wait for others to do it for you? You want others to succeed for you? If you want to succeed, it comes down to how you self-start. Or, let's look at the opposite. You procrastinate. You say, I'll do it tomorrow. Start today. They're calculated. Number 15, all champions are calculated. They have a plan in place. They have a map. They've taken that dream of theirs and they put a map in front of it. And they go like, this is how I'm going to do it. And then they use their resources. So I'm going to quickly go over the list for you guys. And I want you to bullet point this list and evaluate yourself and identify the area where you need to improve. Number 1, mental toughness. Number 2, mental discipline. Number 3, mental engagement. Number 4, competitiveness. Number 5, resilience. Number 6, emotional control. Number 7, critical thinking. Number 8, growth mindset. Number 9, promotion mindset. Number 10, self-motivation. Number 11, the moment. Number 12, confidence. Number 13, self-belief. 14, self-starter. 15, calculated. So take that list. Even take that list and say, okay, I assess myself out of 5 or out of 4, whatever scale you want to use. And then look at what your average is on the mental side. But guys, I got to tell you, if you're going to master your mind, same thing, you got to have a map. You got to have a map as to how you're going to do it. Just mental toughness and mental discipline isn't enough. All these things here. And if your environment, the coaching environment, your living environment, especially for us here in the US growing up in comfort zones, if that is not helping you to improve on these mental skills, then don't get 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, and look back and like, oh my gosh, I don't have this, this, and this, and this. But I can hit a forehand, and I can hit a big serve. And now I realize, hey, a big forehand and a big serve doesn't win me the match anymore. How important is your mind? And I'm going to leave you with this last thought. It is your thinking that will separate you from the rest. So work on your mind. I love how Nadal said it. He said, every time I step on the court, the first thing I do is the mental work. In fact, he said even before he steps on the court. Now I want you to take a little bit of ownership. Look at the man in the mirror. What are you doing about your mental game? And also, remember one of those checkpoints, are you a self-starter? Or are you waiting for somebody else to do it for you? Guys, I gotta hit you with the truth. You grow up where people don't understand the importance of thinking. Your mind. It's number 1. All right, guys, I wish you all the best with that.